So the Kremlin and Vladimir Putin in particular have not said this is a war. They've said it's a special military operation in the east of Ukraine. And that has been amplified and transmitted by Russian state media, including Sputnik and RT, which used to be called Russia Today, and broadcast to the world. And what they've tried to do is undermine other narratives, other versions from other channels, play them down over the last few months, and put what is truth into question. So here at SIRE, we've done some recent studies on Russia's use of soft power, and media is one important element of that. What they're trying to do is create an alternative to Western narratives. They want to put the Russian story forward, and they also want to put the African story forward. So they have been creating content in Arabic, in English, in French, which is then rebroadcast for free by local television channels. A lot of stories go out on the internet from RT and Sputnik, which is their news agency, with the express intent on making Russia look as good as possible and making the West look as bad as possible. It's not necessarily fake news, but what it is hyper-partisan and polarizing, and that exacerbates existing faults within African societies. RT makes it its mission to look at marginalized stories, and those marginalized stories are often African stories, and African stories often don't make it onto Western media. So that's where RT's niche is. But while it's doing that, it's also portraying Russia in a favorable light and tapping into anti-Western narratives which are prevalent both within society but also within some of the media channels. And so it creates this alternative to what's out there. They use local actors and people and personas to try and become more authentic and resonate within that particular society. In Ghana, in the run-up to the 2020 US elections, Ghanaian accounts were posting very polarizing, very racist content and trying to influence that election. In Mali, for example, there's been an anti-French line that says the French are exacerbating the conflict in the north of the country and that Russia would be a much better security partner. I think we have to be responsible social media users. We have to ask questions about the content that we're seeing. Where does it come from? What is its purpose? How is it being portrayed? Look at media sites that you trust to have corroboration of what seems to be an exclusive breaking story or something that just doesn't quite sit right. And then there are responsibilities both on the big tech companies to better curate their platforms and to minimize hate speech, but also for governments to regulate these companies and find some kind of accountability, because there's a feeling that they can get away with anything. Yes, they have been fined by certain governments, but really it's almost like it's a free-for-all, and the users are at the wrong end of the process.